Hello, it's me, the Oracle of Apollo. Nice to see you again, Stardusted Souls. So today, I actually have a little... Yes, let's get some energy clearing done first. There we go. Namaste. Fantastic. So today, I have been having an... I'm gonna say that the word interesting doesn't quite encompass everything that has been happening to me since the last video I posted, where I talked to you about the first time I meet a goddess with in person with my eyes open. If you want to go watch that, check out that video in my channel. Yay! And please like and subscribe. This way, when I get a new video out, you can go ahead and follow my journey or learn with me as I go along on my journey. And you will know when that's happening. Plus, it gives me a reason to make more videos. Okay, great. So, the last video we talked about, I met Lakshmi, which was the goddess of fortune. Consequently, there has been more things that have happened since then. So, a few days after I posted my video about meeting the goddess, oh my goddess, meeting a goddess, I wound up talking to my mother about the story. I feel like I'm all over the place. Hold on. I'm just so excited right now. Okay. I ended up talking to my mother about the story. And the funny thing is, anytime that I verbalize anything about this story, I get almost instantaneous validation or something else happens. This journey or this part of this experience has not been one that I've been by myself, as other people are experiencing this with me. Okay, I'm just going to move this camera a little bit to get better light. There we go. All right. So, me and my mom, so basically I have a nonprofit organization. It's called Howlwellness Center, H-O-W-L, Healing Ourselves While Learning. And right up the block, there's a Wawa. And I go to the Wawa, honestly, maybe 4 times a week to get a coffee, a big coffee, and me and my mom share the big 24 ounce, and we get 12 ounces each. Because you don't want to see me on a lot of caffeine. Although, as a saleswoman, when I was on caffeine, wow, what a difference it made. Okay, so we go to Wawa and we're just talking about the validation, and I'm explaining to her about what was happening. Oh, and that's great and everything. And we're on the way back. We walk into the center, and I probably do have videos where you see me sitting, and behind me is a library. That's the library at the center. And basically what it's like, I'm trying to give you a picture, is like the chair is against the wall, but immediately to the right is a door. That door is to the adytum. The adytum is the sacred space where we do our meditations and our healings in. But that door is always open because it's just like a room. Like a room in your house, the door would be open to a bedroom. So when you're sitting on the little leather couch against the library, your peripheral is directly facing that room, and that room's door also is a clear door, so it's not a completely solid door. So we come in, and I have my coffee, and I walk over, and I sit down, and I'm looking at my mom, but from the periphery of my eye, I see, and just so you guys know, periphery is like to the side, I see something glowing in the room. And in the room, in the adytum itself, dogs, in the adytum itself, it's dark because we haven't used that room yet. So if there's light in the dark room, your eye would be gravitated to it, because obviously there's such a stark contrast there that you're just going to be gravitated to go like, oh, well, that's like your brain's like, that's unusual, what's that? And it's going to look. And you might have this happen vice versa, and to you it might be you're in a room that has light and you see a shadow person walk by. That stark contrast is the reason you go, oh, what's that? So I see a glowing, and I'm not saying like a subtle, like let me think, something really soft. Maybe like ambiance lighting, when you have like a light bulb inside of a container, and the containers maybe has like a color or something like frosted, and it kind of like dulls down the color. Not like that, but like straight LED brightness in your face kind of color, like the sun kind of color. And it caught me, so I sit down and I'm like, cause well, hold on, hold on. I sat down and I looked over because it caught me, just casually, like, oh, like, you know, my brain's like, oh, what's that? So I look over, and I'm looking directly in the room, and I jump, like I literally, dogs, I jump. She does a circle and then she just walks back because my dining room table is round. See, here we go. Here's my dog. There's my round table with all my mess that I'm playing with today. It's a lot of crystals. She walks around and she just walks back and forth. So so I look back over, or I look over, and as I'm looking at her, like my brain is now like, oh, there's something there, and my eyes are like, oh my God, there's something there. And I'm like this, and I'm like, oh, you know, like gasping, like where Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, like they meet the bad guys in whatever theme park they're in that week. And like, oh my God, the bad guys. And, you know, they're like, oh, yikes. Or whatever. And I react because it startled me. Not that it scared me, but it startled me because I wasn't expecting that. And my mom is sitting right across from me. So there's another couch like directly in front of me, and she's sitting right across from me. And as I'm looking this way and I'm jumping mid-jump, it kind of like disappears after I looked at it, but not like before. I got to see her. Like I got to see her clearly, maybe for good 1 second. Usually it's like a half a second you see them, right? When they're not really like giving you a message or something. The ones that kind of just like are hiding or whatever, you catch them for like half a second. For her, a solid second, man. That second from nanosecond is a huge difference when you're trying to get color, when you're trying to get size, when you're trying to get detail. It makes the world of a difference. And if you're not sure, go ahead and pick something in your room. Look at it for half a second. Close your eyes. Do you remember it? Now, look at it again, one, and then close your eyes, and then see if you remember it. You'll remember it clearly. So close your eyes right after the moment you see it, and you'll be able to form the rest of it without polluting your eyes with the rest of the information that is involved by looking around the room. So I look at my mom, and then I hear my mom gasp. So I jump, I look at her, and she goes, oh! And I'm like, what? Like, you know, like, did you see her? Like, what happened? And my mom says, did you see that? And I said, what did you see? And she says, I saw coming out of the door, a light, and like a light mist, and it flew out of the room, like it just right out the room. And I was like, oh my God, you saw that? And I said, that's not what I saw. What I saw was, so the door's wide open, and when I looked, I saw her stand, like, okay, maybe if I use this hand. Let's try to get a good angle. Door's wide open. So this is my angle that I'm seeing the door. Okay, this is the door flat if I was looking at it where I was sitting. And then here's the door open. And she's standing, like, here's the entrance. This is the door. This is behind the door. She's standing, this is the door end, slightly, like 2 feet, maybe, you know, 2 little steps back behind it. Kind of like, not really hiding, but just there. Not really, like, obvious. And so what she looked like was she was wearing all white, beautiful white. Like I said, she was glowing. And you might think like all of them glow. All of them don't glow. Okay? A lot of them glow, but not all of them. Some of them look more human-esque than you can imagine. And so she's wearing all white, flowing clothes. At the bottom, you can see like I guess the sari wrapped down around her body, and the trim of the silk was white. So it was like all of the fabric, gold. All of the fabric was white, and the trim of the silk, the lining, like the very borders, is gold. And she had 4 arms, and that's the first thing that caught my attention, actually. I was looking, but what made me stare, what made me like captivated, was the fact that I saw many arms. And I was like, what? Who is that? Who is that? And why is she here? Who? So I did some research because I've never met these goddesses. And my entire path has been through experience and then understanding. So it hasn't been understanding that creates my experience. It's my experience that creates my understanding, or my experience that creates my surroundings, my perspective, my reality. My experiences create my reality as opposed to my understanding creating my experiences, okay? And that's important because a lot of times we start to shut down our minds to preconceived notions of what is possible, what is not possible, and how it is possible. And if we can't fathom or grasp the idea around that, then you shut yourself down to a lot of beauty in the world and experiences. So in my personal experience, I haven't even been able to combat that because my experience has been very visual, very imposed onto the third dimensional reality, and frequent enough where I learned to trust the information and what I'm seeing with my eyes. So she is the goddess of, her name is, I wrote it down and I'm not pronouncing it because I refuse to pronounce it terribly since I've only ever seen the name on black and white. So she's the goddess of wisdom, art, music, and poetry. Interestingly enough, she also has a sacred bird. Her sacred bird is the swan. Doubly interesting is Apollo is the god of music, poetry, and art, as well as his sacred bird is the swan. So it's kind of like I haven't put together yet what these messages are. So this is where I'm at right now, is that's the understanding of it. Let's see. Then I had a dream that night. The dream was about 3 incarnations, a third or fourth incarnation of Shiva, and that I would have to wait till that time. So I waited for that to happen, and that actually happened. The message came through, but then the actual outcome of that happened yesterday. And I'm actually going to make another video about what happened yesterday, because yesterday I met Wrath. And when I looked at the third or fourth incarnation of Shiva, which was the message, so to speak, there was a god of war and in those incarnations of those steps. So I'll tell you about how I met him yesterday and how unpleasant that was. It's not always rainbows and sunshines meeting deities. And interestingly enough, again, this was with my eyes open, except usually when I commune with the gods, I am in a trance state. And so this is very new to me, and this is why I'm making these videos, because this is something that has kind of evolved 5 years down the road of working on my spirituality. And you will see some very early videos of my journey in my page. Okay, guys, that's all I want to share about this particular goddess. Please subscribe if you want to know more about more things, more stories. And may you guys go in love, light, and wisdom. Know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Namaste.